Glenn McDonald here with the Northampton International Film Festival 2014 with Ginetta Candelario. So we just screened Paper City. It was described to me by someone who just came out as wonderfully horrific. Tell us a little bit about the subject matter and your part in the film.
Well, the city offers a context for understanding or thinking about some of the structural inequalities that background, I think, the failures of the school system in Holyoke historically for the last 30 or 40 years in terms of its Latino population, which is the majority of the population. It looks at the question of arson, of the drug economy, of the school to prison pipeline as a result of that, and the kind of ongoing inability, unwillingness to really sort of empower this community, right, to make the fullest use it can of the education system, and to have the education system really serve the community appropriately. And I think that what the film showcases is not, there are particularities to Holyoke, but it's not unique to Holyoke, unfortunately, right? That the school system in the United States, on the one hand, historically, was really kind of the vehicle to citizenship and empowerment, but that has always been particularly the case for white Americans and for European immigrants, and much less the case for African Americans, for Latinos, for other immigrant groups, for Native Americans, all of whom have experienced the school system as both promise and peril, right? Yeah. As both a source for some of us of tremendous empowerment, but for the vast majority as a vehicle out of our citizenship, actually, and not really fully into it. So I think that that's one of the things that the film really tries to capture, and to have us develop some empathy for, and then maybe to act, right, as viewers and as voters.
Obviously, the film has a message, and you want to enact change. What do you think that change would look like?
I mean, I think there's a real resistance still today in terms of practice to incorporating Puerto Rican voices in the decision-making process in Holyoke. It's getting better, right, with the city council changing its complexion, literally, with the election of Puerto Rican and other Latino council members, with the appointment of Latino folks into city positions. So there is an improvement, but there's room for much, much more to happen. I think that's a core thing, is really considering Puerto Ricans in Holyoke as a constituency, right, as a voter base that needs to be listened to and responded to actively. And once you do that, that's connected to the school system, right? Because if you empower the families, if you empower the adults and the voters, then you're going to absolutely empower the children, right, who are part of those families. And I think that's a big part of it, is to really think of these as whole units, not as children who you want to think about separately from family, right? As if their families are the problem. Their families are not the problems. Their families are dealing with problems, right? So that's, I think, a key thing.
We so much appreciate you coming out to the festival. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. This was great.